Hey guys, Mauro here. One of the most common mistakes that I see in the ground strokes, in the forehand and the backhand, is people hitting the ball flat, hitting not really able to generate enough spin in the forehand and the backhand as well. And one of the reasons, a very common mistake that I see on both sides. Let's start on the forehand first. When they bring the racket back, one of the things that people do is that sometimes they bring the racket too far back. Okay, so one is they rotate and they bring it too far back. When you bring the racket way too far behind you, that it goes all the way to the other side here, one thing that is going to happen is that it's going to be difficult for you to really control that racket and the timing, especially your timing, because your swing is way too long. Your swing is, you're coming from behind here. So you gotta come around. If you turn, you gotta come around and then go forward. See? So what happens is you bring it too far back here, and it's very common that you swing and your racket doesn't really go down, but goes more at, you know, like a lower height, not really down and up, but goes out and across your body. And what you end up doing is more hitting that ball flat side to side. The other thing is, of course, you're gonna bring that racket from behind, you're gonna curve and then go forward. It's kind of difficult to do that if we wanna hit the ball through, you know, that like the normal way we do. So one thing that you wanna pay attention is when you prepare that racket, try to keep it, you turn and try to keep it on this side. Don't let it come. If you can bring it behind you here, that's good enough, because you're gonna turn, and when you turn, your racket is gonna come a little bit. You see, it's coming to the outside part of the body here, and it goes through the ball. But when you come too far back, that's actually has to come around your body. So that's where you mess it up. Try to keep more your swing on the forehand side here, so it's easier from here to start and create that snap down, forward, and up around the body if you keep it here. One of the players that does that very well is Burdick, which swings looks, Thomas Burdick, which swing looks very compact. The guy's ready here, and it looks like he just slaps the ball. He's not really just slapping the ball, even though his shots are pretty flat compared to most of the other players. He hits the ball really hard, but he gets the racket ready on this side, and he can generate that speed quickly here, snap and go through the ball without the problem of bringing it back here, where your racket is going to have to change directions, coming around and down and up. So try to be careful going too far back. Try to keep the swing here on the side, the turn and swing on, and keep it on this side. And one thing is, one thing that you want, what you really want to pay attention is prepare high. That's going to help you, give you a little more time, a little more momentum, like the Potros forehand, going high and then going through the ball. It's gonna give you a little more time to generate momentum on the ball. But I would say that if you're having problems to generate a spin, one tip that can really help you start paying attention, you know, to start getting a little more the feeling of brushing that ball is, many players even started not going that far back, but they just start and they start out here, not really bringing the racket down, but out and around the body. So when I get my racket too far out here, look at my elbow separated from my body. So the face of my racket is almost pointing to the side. It's going to be somewhere around there. You're not going to generate any spin like that. Your racket, the face of the racket's got to be a little bit more close. Some players close it much more. Some players close it just a little bit, but enough to generate spin. But definitely, if you're in this position, you're not gonna generate any spin. You're gonna go more slapping to the side. So one thing I want to pay attention is once you swing and you get to what is called petting the dog here, you want to think, okay, pet the dog. Bring that elbow closer to your body so your arm gets to come here and then comes around and across. See your body up here. So you want to pay attention to starting here, go, see, and you want to feel that racket facing down. Doesn't necessarily mean that your swing is always going to be like this, staying here. not so close, and the racket completely facing down, you know, or give or take a little more, a little less, but somewhere around there. This is just something that you're gonna do initially to start feeling that racket coming up and brushing that ball. See, preparing closer to you, bringing it down here, and being able to feel more. You see that going through the ball, and then that racket comes around instead of starting too high here and just hitting that ball more side to side. So you want to pay attention to that swing, the patting the dog. You want to feel, okay, turn, keep the racket on this side, here, pat the dog, and let it, and just keep going with the swing there, okay? Another common mistake that I see is on players that they turn too much. So you turn here, and when you turn too much, you go, but your body's on the way because my feet, they line up that way. You want to make sure that you get this foot, the left one, out of the way a little bit, so you can turn and you can rotate all the way with your body when you're done with the swing. So be careful getting ready here. You see that ball coming and you want to wait, and when you're ready to pull the trigger, see, you kind of keep a semi-open stance so you can go pet the dog, come around. When you use this kind of swing, guys, when you focus on petting the dog, one thing that is going to happen is that you're going to get that ball well inside of you, well in front of you. You know, you can go with the elbow a little more bent or more extended, but you definitely want to feel. You see that lagging of the racket and the arm. That should not change, guys. You really want to feel this part here coming, and then that racket comes around, and if you bend the elbow a little bit, it's probably gonna go, you're gonna make contact a little bit later, a little more in front of you, extended there. But the thing is, you wanna keep that angle. This is when a lot of people start straightening the wrist. Hold the butt cap in the front. You really wanna feel that angle with the racket. See, the head of the racket is behind my grip, my wrist. So when you're about to make contact, that racket is still a little bit behind you. And you make contact, that's when the head of the racket and the grip line up. See, and the same thing with your body. You're turning, boom, there. That's how you want to look. Remember, when we hit the ball, you want a semi-open stance, and you want to feel that core working as well. There are some people just kind of hitting with the arm. If you hit with the arm and your chest is pointing that way, that means you're just going with the arm there. You want to feel ready, go, and you gotta feel like you're punching, like you're tossing those rocks to the lake. The way you do it, that's the same feeling that you want to feel. And the moment you're making contact, it's like punching. Your racket and your chest, they are squared. That's where you're going to have more power. On the backhand side, it's the same thing. People turn sometimes, and they either stick the racket out too much, so they just go, when they swing, that racket goes more, instead of going a little more down and up, they go more side. It's more like a clock hand. Goes side to side, slapping from one side to the other. That racket doesn't really come down, and again, that's what I call, the clock hand, because your racket doesn't look like I'm swinging through the ball that way. So it's going to be moving the racket a little bit this way while I'm lagging there. But people just go right away. The racket starts opening, coming around like that. That's a clock hand. And by the time you make contact, instead of feeling like you're making contact here, you feel more like you're there. See that ball is, because of the position of your arms in the racket, you get that ball late, and you're just shoveling there, pretty much hitting flat, slapping that ball. So you want to pay attention. You turn here, don't let it get separated, bring it a little closer again. And again, you're gonna work with the distance of your shoulders and the body, guys. You wanna feel that coming low, different from the forehand. On the petting the dog on the backhand is not really with the racket facing down. It's more facing, it's more staying in this position. See, give or take there. So you're gonna feel, you go down, my elbow's close to me, so I can go more through the ball, forward, and then I feel that snap and it comes around. careful when you go all the way around. So you have problem generating getting that racket on the ball, generating that spin. Of course, you gotta pay attention to your grip, you know, on both sides. But the most common mistake that I see is people don't bring it down enough. Well, bring that elbow closer to you on the forehand. Pet the dog, and you gotta meet that ball early here. If you pet the dog, but then you let it straight, then you know you're gonna hit that ball late. Same on the backhand. You can start petting the dog, but then if you let it straight here, you're not gonna meet that ball enough in front of you. So keep that elbow closer to you, and then bring it around. You wanna feel that core working all at once. You wanna feel that upper body working. Same on this one. Down and bring it around. Coming and bringing it around. You gotta feel that the core of your body is working as well. It's not just your arms or the wrist only. All right, okay guys, well, I hope it helps. Let me know questions, suggestions. Give me a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.